Hey, it's Rick here from 13 June. It's coming from a nice workout at Planet Fitness in Manchester, New Hampshire. And time to get ready to go see a few other people today. Before that, though, just a few comments on Christianity and topics of today. And a misnomer, I think, of a lot of Christianity. First of all, so there are some people out there that have made grumblings that don't like my approach to certain things. You know what? I don't care. I'm consistent and I fight for what I believe. If you don't like the way I do different things or the way things are expressed, you don't have to post or look at them. But I'm consistent. That's one thing I am, and I'll always be. And I care about people, and I care what's happening to this country. And I fight for what I believe. You can respect it if you want, but you don't have to like it. I'll leave that as is. Now, next up, Christianity and topics, politics, values, all that type of stuff. There's a big misnomer out there from a lot of Christian people, and I've seen this over the years. This is not just current. That as a Christian person, you should mind your own business and not worry about anything that's going on because God will take care of it. Okay? I'm here to tell you that is exactly 100% wrong. Yes, in the end of the day, at the end of everything, I believe God will take care of things. I honestly believe that. But you ever hear that phrase, God takes care of those who take care of themselves? Okay? Basically, the Bible, okay, has nothing, the life of Christ, about sitting on your ass and doing nothing and just waiting for things to happen. Quite the opposite. The entire life of Christ, his public life that's in the New Testament, was going out and challenging those who are not doing the right thing. And it often came with a lot of flack. But that's okay. He dealt with it, him and his apostles, as an example for us. His very last wish, after he rose from the dead, the apostles saw him, was go and teach all nations. He didn't tell them, hey, don't worry about anything. Just sit inside your homes, mind your own business. Maybe go to the temple and pray every now and then. Don't worry about it. I will take care of it. The Father will take care of everything. Don't rock the boat. No. He told them to go out and be an influence, which came with a lot of flack and deaths from some of those apostles. It didn't come with all kinds of balloons and birthday cakes and everybody having a celebration. Quite the opposite. Go out, he told them, to be an influence on people. As a Christian person, we need to not just think of ourselves. Okay, that's a theme throughout the New Testament. You don't just think of yourself, you have to think of your neighbor, right? What is that? When Jesus said, when they die and go in front of God, when do we ever see you in need? Well, when my neighbor was in need, okay? The parable of the Samaritan, the person's hurt on the side of the road, and 3 people go by. One was a rabbi, I believe, and he was saying his prayers. He was too busy. The only person justified was the person who took time to help that person. We have to think of other people, not just ourselves. Which means, if you broaden that out, you have to care about what's going on in this country. You can't just sit there and say, well, I don't care about what's going on, because they don't influence me. I know what I believe. And that may be the case. You may be an older person like me who knows what they believe in, and you're not going to be influenced by what's going on. But it's not about just you. There's people under you. There's your children, your grandchildren, your friends, your family. If you just change one person's view properly, just one, that's wonderful in the eyes of Christ. Because that one person will change another person, and so on. You're here, you're not going to change the world. No one person's going to, especially a middle-class person like us, we're not going to change the world. But you influence what you can. You show consistency. You don't have to be liked all the time. There's nowhere in the Bible that says it's so important to be liked. If that's your goal, is to be liked by everybody, then you have the wrong goals. That's not the goal as a Christian, is to be liked by everybody. It's to be respected and to be known that you have a consistency in what you believe. There are people out there, I'm not going to vote for anybody. when it comes to politics. I'm not going to vote for anybody because they're all the same. Okay, two things. Number one, that's extremely ignorant. That's a cheap way out. I don't care where you stand. Donald Trump is not like Joe Biden. Okay? Well, not just Trump, but other people. The right wing right now is not like the left wing. You may not like certain aspects of both, whatever. But to sit there and say they're both the same is just pure ignorance. There has never been a difference in between ideologies, the left and right, in my lifetime than I've seen right now. The biggest, to sit there and say they're all the same. Oh, I can't stand any of the politicians. They're all crooks, and this one's not perfect, and he has issues, and they all have issues. Well, of course. They're human beings. We all have issues. You think you're perfect? I certainly am not. No candidate. We think you can get Jesus Christ as a candidate, or an angel from heaven coming down with wings and all a halo around them as a candidate. Of course these people have issues, but you pick the best one, all right? I've heard Christians complain. They don't do anything. Don't take a stand against anything, but they'll complain about what's going on. If you complain and you don't take a stand, you have nothing to say. You're part of the problem, okay? You can't idly sit back right now, because this is not just about politics. This is about morality, abortion. That's not politics as much as it's morality. That's morality, okay? Critical race theory, all these different things. This is morality. From a Christian standpoint, just get your politics out of your mind. This is about morality. And you have to take a stand, because when you see, one thing I like about the left, that I admire about the left, is they take a stand. Remember that parable that says, you're either for me or you're against me. The lukewarm, I'll vomit out of my mouth. Who's the worst in that scenario? You would think, well, it's the person that's against Christ, right? No, it's the person that's lukewarm. Why? Because at least the person that's totally against Christ, in this case, like today, Christian values and all this woke stuff, at least if they have a passion for right is good. They may be misinformed, but they get a passion. And when you get a passion to try to find what's right, you can be worked with because you're trying. It might be you're in the wrong direction, but you're trying. A person who's lukewarm, basically apathetic, doesn't give a shit about anything. You can't change a person like that. They're the toughest person to break through because they don't care. All they care about is drinking beers, getting their paycheck, having a lot of fun. They don't care about anything. And that person just floats with whatever goes on today. Whatever goes on. They flip-flop all over the place. You can never get them to stand for anything. That's why in that parable, the worst of the three was the person who didn't take a stand for anything, because they're difficult to change a person like that. Passions are good. You can work with that. Even misinformed passions. You can change a person like that. And the left has a passion. And by the day, they're changing the society. I'm not saying it's for good. All right, I'm not admiring them. I'm just saying they have a passion. The news, schools, young kids. We're seeing everything change woke by the day, all these different things. And a lot of people on the right have their fingers up their ass, doing nothing. Oh, well, God will take care of it. You live in this world for a reason. You're here for a point to do God's work. Not sit in your asshole and do nothing. That's not what it's about. Okay? You gotta make a stand at some point. Even a little. I'm not saying you go out and cause violence and sit there and live in depression. I'm not saying that. But when the time comes, and it's not all the time, I said before, it's not all the time. When the time comes about values and things that are going on today, crosses into politics, you have to take a stand if you're a Christian, because what's going on right now is very, very anti-Christian by the day. So you have to influence all the people that you can. That's your job as a Christian. That's all you can do. Change one, that's excellent. Change one heart, and it'll go on from there. That's my talk for the day. It's Rick. Hope you have a great day, because I'm going to enjoy the rest of the week. Even though it's raining outside right now, makes no difference. God's given me this day, and I love it. So, God bless all of you.